Hello everyone, how's it going? So today here I have a Samsung Galaxy S10. The owner said that it stopped working, and then when he connects it to the power it just stays on a boot loop. Let's check that. So now it doesn't even start. Let's put the charger in and see what happens. So here's the Samsung Galaxy S10 greeting. It went off. It's vibrating, started again. Yeah, so this is boot loop. Well, usually this is due to a bad battery, but we'll need to do some tests to see if it really is or another defect. Let's go. So this will be the material that I will be working with and that you need in case you want to open one of these. So let's then start heating the back glass. This will be heating up until 150 degrees. So when we touch the glass, it needs to burn a little bit in order for it to be good to remove without breaking. So in order to do so, we need to put the sucker and pull until we get a little breach where we can put our little, I don't know the name of this, and unglue the glue that is below. We need to be very careful on the corners because it might break on the corners, okay? And we go through this tedious process until we manage to remove the back glass from the chassis of the phone. Once all that struggle is done, we can now open the back glass and reveal the insides of the phone. We will now need to remove all the Phillips screws. With the screws removed, we pull very carefully on the charging coil. and we pull it up and to the side in order to remove it from the body of the phone. And we can already see that the battery has some sort of water damage. So we will now disconnect the battery in order to do the test with only the power to see if it starts. So it boots us and greets us with the temperature warning. It's still hot, so let's try that again. And there it is. We go to the Samsung screen, but it doesn't seem to go through, and it's still very hot. So the battery fell off on its own. This is not normal. Usually they are very sticky, and it doesn't go through this Samsung screen. Usually it should. So as it doesn't go through this screen, we will eventually clean it with isopropyl alcohol throughout the board to make sure that if any corrosion, it gets removed. So let's just check the voltage on this battery. This is high, 9.4, it should have 4.4, so this is a bit off. Oh, it's starting to change. Yeah, this is all over the place. This battery is definitely not good. As you can see, it says 4.4. Let's do just a visual inspection of the board. The water seal is pink, so probably water came in. I cannot see any corrosion, at least with the naked eye. Let's then remove the motherboard. The USB-C has a bit of dirt, but nothing special. The top seal looks normal, otherwise it should be full pink. So let's give it a brush with some isopropyl alcohol just to make sure that if any corrosion, we remove it. And we place the board back on place. And we attach the screws. And this little plastic board is not connecting for some reason. So after checking, I broke a screw. So I will have to amend this, because it's never easy now, is it? When we have an easy job, it gets even worse every time. Every time. Let's then fix this with some super glue. Let's just clean the remains of the adhesive that hid the screw in first place. So with this little piece almost in place, we put just a little tiny bit of super glue. With the help of the tweezers, we will now spread it a little bit so it gets glued. Again, zoomed in, a little super glue on the tweezer. This tweezer needs a new one as well. And we put the glue on the crack. So we heat it a little bit with our heat gun so that it dries faster. And there you go, almost new. So let's then place the speaker back in place. So after cleaning, let's now test without the battery to see if it goes through the screen that we want him to go. Okay, it now did the battery test. It didn't do that before. We have the Samsung greeting, Samsung, and we got it on a boot loop again. Is it? Let's see if it goes through. It did. Great. So I'll order a new battery. And what was 3 days for me was just 1 second for you guys. So here's the new battery. Let's then assemble it and connect it and do a little test to see if the phone reacts or not. So we place the charging coil back so that everything is connected. And we'll fire it up and see what happens. Okay, good. Let's see if it goes through. It did. Excellent. So the problem was indeed the battery. Great. So let's turn it off and clean all the glue residue that we have on the back. So let's now test with the charger and see if it charges. It sure does. Excellent. Let's try the wireless charging to see if the coil is working. It also is. Superb. So let's now then clear all this adhesive. This adhesive is super strong and it took take forever to remove. We have to soak it and then scrape it and then soak it again and scrape it again. It took me quite a while to do. We will now put our 3M double-sided tape in order to glue all the stuff back in place. We do the same on the back glass, obviously. So let's remove all the stickers from the glue. In order to make sure that the phone is a bit watertight, we put this glue all around the edge of the phone so that it at least gets a bit watertight and dust proof as well. We now clean the lens with a dry cotton bud. And we put the back glass back in place. We squeeze it a little bit. And we use some pliers. These are to hang clothes hangers in this case, if you have them and they are strong enough. Just leave them for 40 minutes or so. So 1 hour has passed. Let's remove the cloth hangers and check how it is. In case you don't need the phone, just leave it for 12 hours until it's fully dry. So in order to remove these residues from the glue, we do a little cotton swab with isopropyl alcohol. And we do a final finish on the back glass with some alcohol. Let's then place it on the cover again and do the charging tests to see if it works. So first the cable. It does indeed charge. We have a charging signal. Now the wireless coil. Also charging. Excellent. There we go. Let's fire it up and see if we have a charging sign on the menu, which is not the menu, it's the starting setup. And there we go. There it is. It's a sign there. Great. So, people, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel, that's very important, and see you again in the next video.